Fantastic. And how did you enjoy the candidate reception? Very fantastic, and I hope you enjoyed the fabulous slideshow that we've already put together from the convention. Terrific. So we're going to have a terrific evening. I'd like to begin with taking a moment to thank our very, very generous sponsors who have really become partners. First, it gives me great pleasure to thank Geico. I'd also, and if you'll please hold your applause, we'd also like to take a moment to thank the National Collegiate Honor Society, or Honors Council, sorry, E-Group, Marketing General, Merit, Higher Logic, and Colette. Please give a round of applause for our sponsors. We're very grateful for that partnership, but most importantly, your commitment to student success. Thank you. And at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce one of our most loyal partners, who we now call a friend, Eric from Geico, as he's known. Eric, if you'll please join me. It's my pleasure to introduce Eric Inkring from Geico. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening. Nice, thank you. Once again, my name is Eric Inkring, and I can't tell you how happy I am to be here. You know, a couple years ago, it was my first convention. Thank you for welcoming me back. You know, one of the things I love about this organization is the commitment to the 3 L's: leading, learning, and leaving a legacy of excellence. It was those words and some encouragement from your leadership that got me motivated to do something a little crazy. Go back to grad school. Now, you see, it was a little scary for me because I took time off. Unfortunately, I had a loss in the family, work, life just happened. And I was applying, thinking, what am I going to do? And I was telling my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, maybe I should just try to get a couple of good grades, try to pass and see what happens. She looked at me, and I think she was listening to you guys too, and said, Eric, you're better than that. Now, I'm just letting you know that when I went to grad school, I'm not saying you have to get straight A's, but I did. That was all the motivation I needed to get a competitive motor runner. And with that, a couple years later, I'm proud to tell you, I have an MBA in project management with a 4.0. Now, I said all that not to brag at all. I said that actually for 2 things: accountability and gratitude to you. Reason why, if it wasn't for you guys, if it wasn't for that motivation, I don't know if I'd be here today. But more importantly, I know what you guys do each and every day. You guys know too, that's why you're here. And Geico knows that too. And that is why we're able to offer a discount of up to 8% to Phi Kappa Phi members. And every member that gets a quote, Geico gives money back to the organization. I was doing a little quick math. Over just 4 years, Geico's been able to provide more than $250,000 to Phi Kappa Phi programs. So if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm more than happy to answer them for you, and I can't wait to see where you guys are going to go next. Thank you.
Thank you. How about another round of thank you for Eric and Geico? Eric, again, thank you so much for your support of our society and of our students. We're very, very grateful. So you heard earlier today, Dr. Todd mentioned several times, awards are what we do. So that's what tonight is about. Awards are what we do, and students are what we do. So it is my absolute pleasure to take a moment here, and I'm going to ask them to stand and be recognized, and if you'll please hold your applause. But again, students are what we do. But I'd like to recognize the 2018-2020 Council of Students, and this is a terrific group of high-achieving student leaders. And I will share their names alphabetically. Megan Burns, an undergraduate student from Bloomsburg University. Oh, we'll clap. Anna Gardner, an undergraduate student from Ithaca College. Thank you. Nicole Mattis, an undergraduate student from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville. Drew Maccabee, a graduate student from Methodist University. Boston Workman, an undergraduate student from Weber State University. And our final student, Angelica Zamora Duran, a graduate student from Florida Institute of Technology. Fantastic. Congratulations, and thank you for your service to the society. Thank you. And with that, it's my absolute pleasure now to introduce, when we talk about one of our star, outstanding, high-achieving student leaders, it is my pleasure to now turn over the podium to Autumn Greba.
Good evening. I'm Autumn Rose Greba, student representative on the board of directors. Welcome to the awards dinner, where we highlight those individuals who have been named Phi Kappa Phi Scholar, Artist, and Distinguished Service Recipients for the coming biennium, and hear from a member of the 2017 class of Phi Kappa Phi Fellows. Would Dr. Ann Morton Gernsbacher please join me on the dais? The Phi Kappa Phi Scholar Award was created in 1974. It recognizes a member who has achieved notable scholastic recognition over the course of his or her career in higher education. Morton Ann Gernsbacher is the Villis Research Professor and the Sir Frederick C. Bartlett Professor of Psychology at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Her work in the field of cognitive neuroscience of human communication, most recently in the study of autism, has been commended both nationally and internationally. For her, I'm just going to take this. Thank you. For her role as an educator and esteemed researcher in cognitive neuroscience of human communication field, whose efforts have had a profound impact on the study of autism, and for her commitment to the excellence in teaching and in mentoring students at the University of Wisconsin-Madison since 1992, we proudly named Morton Ann Gernsbacher the Phi Kappa Phi Scholar for the 2018 to 2020 biennium.
Thank you so much. I actually cannot express how honored and humbled I am by this award. When I was inducted into Phi Kappa Phi during graduate school, it was a remarkable turning point for me. As the first person in my immediate family to graduate from college, much less to go on to graduate school, I had more than my share of imposter syndrome. Being inducted into Phi Kappa Phi was validating in a way that I still can't put into words 35 years later. I was then, and I remain today, delighted to be a member of Phi Kappa Phi's global network, which, as we know, comprises members from all academic disciplines who form a community of scholars and professionals building an enduring legacy for future generations. So thank you again for this wonderful and humbling honor.
Thank you, Dr. Gernsbacher. Will Professor Barbara Duval please join me on the dais? The Phi Kappa Phi Artist Award was created in 1982. It recognizes a member whose career reflects outstanding achievement in the arts. Barbara Duval, a painter and printmaker, is a professor of studio art at the College of Charleston. Her work has been exhibited throughout the United States and internationally in Belgium, Japan, the Dominican Republic, and Argentina, and is included in both public and private collections, including the Philadelphia Museum of Art and the Fogg Museum at Harvard. For her career as a renowned painter and printmaker whose work have been recognized throughout the United States and internationally, her sustained service contributions to several organizations throughout the broader art community, and her commitment to excellence in teaching and mentoring students at the College of Charleston since 1982, we proudly name Barbara Duval the Phi Kappa Phi Artist for the Biennial of 2018 to 2020.
Well, I just want to say thank you. It's a great honor, but also it's really nice to see the support for the arts in general. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Professor Duval. Will Dr. David Briscoe please join me on the dais? The Ray Sylvester Distinguished Service Award was created in 2014 to honor the memory of Dr. H. Ray Sylvester, who was president-elect of the Society at the time of his passing in February 2014. The Sylvester Award recognizes outstanding dedication to service extending beyond academia. David L. Briscoe, a certified family life educator, is professor of sociology and anthropology at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. Outside the university, he has given more than 50 years of exemplary volunteer service to the Boy Scouts of America. An Eagle Scout, he is a 2005 recipient of the Silver Buffalo Award for Distinguished Service to Youth on a National Basis, the highest service honor in Scouting and one he shares with 15 American presidents. For sustained service efforts of more than 25 years with the Boy Scouts of America, which have made a profound impact on a regional, national, and international level, and for his commitment to the excellence in teaching and mentoring students at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock since 1992, we proudly name David L. Briscoe the Ray Sylvester Distinguished Service Recipient for the 2018 to 2020 biennium.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to be with you this evening and to accept the Ray Sylvester Distinguished Service Award. I am both honored and humbled to have been selected for this prestigious honor. I must say that service to others has been a significant aspect of my life and for all my life. My parents were all about assisting others, providing service to the community, and taking on leadership roles in the community. And they did a great job. They did a great job in setting the example for me and my 8 brothers and sisters. I am grateful for having had the opportunity to serve Phi Kappa Phi as chapter president and play some roles at the national level. I will leave you with a statement that was given to me when I was a student at Princeton Theological Seminary. The secretary would always look at me and she'd say, "David, continue to till the field." And I'm saying, what does she mean by that? I understand now what she meant by it. She meant continue to serve people. I understand that now. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Briscoe. You heard earlier today about our signature awards program, the Phi Kappa Phi Fellowship. It's now time to hear from one of our Phi Kappa Phi Fellows. Abd Al-Rahman Traboulsi is a 2017 Marcus L. Urann Fellow from Cincinnati, Ohio. He is pursuing an MD at Stanford University as part of the inaugural cohort of Knight Hennessy Scholars. A graduate of the Ohio State University in biomedical engineering, he is a first-generation Syrian American and co-founder and executive director of Refuge, a nonprofit dedicated to empowering adolescent refugees toward higher education. We'll let him tell you more about his story. Please join me in welcoming Abd Al-Rahman Traboulsi.
Good evening. I'd rather do it like this. So to be honest, I was just setting up the backdrop and they came to me and said our fellow couldn't make it and they needed someone his age to replace him. So I'm up here. But in honesty, it really is a blessing to be here. And I'm very thankful for everyone who's put all their efforts into enriching our education. And all the other students, we're all very thankful for that. Because without you, without the efforts of teachers and everyone involved in the educational system, we wouldn't be here today. And another blessing that today I was really reflecting on, aside from education, is the fact that we're just all here together today, that we all had the ability to get out of bed, that we had the health to come here and sit together and celebrate one another and meet one another. And when I was young, there's a verse in the Quran that I would read that said, when you save a life, it's as if you've saved all of humanity. And it's that life that we cherish. And I told myself as a child that, I want to be a doctor, so that when I save one person's life, it's like I've saved the rest of the world's life. So I just have to save one person, and then I can call it quits and retire. And at that age, I thought I could save lives, just, it was in my control. But I soon learned that wasn't always possible. I'm from Syria originally, my parents are. And when the Syrian conflict started in 2011, I started seeing people my own family members, their homes being destroyed, barrel bombs just flattening neighborhoods completely. I would call my aunt on the phone and I could hear the sound of gunfire in the background. Not really sure if I would hear her voice again because at any moment a bomb could fall on her home. So my mom pulled me along with her to Turkey. She was working with a medical relief organization. She kind of just, at 17, she kind of just dropped me into a field hospital. And she said, find something to do. She told the doctors, put him to work. And it was a very transformative experience for me. to say the least. It was a war zone, and we had patients coming in every day. Every day, patients were dying on the operating table, and at 17, I started reflecting on the meaning of life and what value we draw from our day-to-day experiences. I saw a mother come in with her child, both bleeding, critically bleeding, and the doctor had to make a decision to save the mother instead of her child, because the child there was no hope for him. There was one point where I was outside one of the cities in northern Syria, about 10 miles away. And this is really where is the tipping point in my life. And I was looking, and in the horizon I saw a helicopter flying over one of the towns. And from its underbelly, a barrel bomb dropped to the ground. And I'm sitting there and I feel completely helpless. Like, no matter what I say, no matter what I do, there's nothing I can do in that moment to save anyone's life that was affected by that bomb. That a mother who was sleeping, a father who's going to come home and find his family injured or dead. And I left that experience thinking about the fact that it's not about the results that I'm in control of, but rather what's within my own capacity. That every day we're given a new opportunity to utilize our day to affect some type of change. Whether that's to put a smile on someone's face, or to help someone younger than us grow in the right direction, or to please our parents. We each have a way of taking advantage of the time that was given to us. And I came back to university when I started my degree at Ohio State thinking about how I can maximize my responsibility. God has given me an education. He has given me support at home. He has given me leadership and a level of intellect that I can use to create change. When I was in Turkey, I came across two young girls sitting on the edge of the street. And normally when you see refugees in countries, a lot of times they're being used by somebody to sell things and then just being abused by a system to make money. But these two girls were sitting there, and one girl had a book out, and I walked up to her, and I asked her what she was doing, and she was teaching her little sister how to read. They didn't have a home, they didn't have parents, they lived in an orphanage. And she was taking the time out to sit on the side of the street and teach her younger sister how to read. What's my responsibility to those kids? And when I think about that, to me the most important thing is my intention. Is making sure my intention is clean, that it's pure, that I'm doing it for the right reasons. And there's many reasons for what we can do things. But I want to make sure that at every step of my life, that I'm doing things from my heart, that it's coming from here. Because what comes from the heart can penetrate into other people's hearts. And who knows what that can do? It's broken down huge barriers. It's changed people's lives. And I hope that it can also put a smile on the face of a child halfway across the world. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's very powerful. It's amazing to also be a student with Phi Kappa Phi and to hear the great things that other people are able to do. And let's just have another round of applause for Abd Al-Rahman. Amazing, wonderful. Because the mission of Phi Kappa Phi is to recognize and promote excellence, awards are what we do. I hope you enjoyed this evening's program. Award recipients, please come forward for more photos. And have a great night, everyone.